Hi guys, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. This video is the kickoff video to my Create Where You Are October Kit to Go. It's featuring the Poinsettia Petals bundle and other things in the Poinsettia Place suite. My kits to go every month are a kit of products that you will use to create the cards in the class. This card that I'm going to show you today is one of the cards that you will make in the class. You will actually make 2 of them, and you'll make 8 cards total, 4 cards, 2 of each design. So you'll make 2 of these, and then you'll make 6 other cards, and those are exclusive to the class, and I don't show them anywhere else. So the kit to go is $45, and that includes the cut cardstock pieces for you to make the 8 cards, plus envelopes. Plus you will receive a half a package of the Poinsettia Place Designer Series paper. So you'll have these patterns here in your kit. You also get a half a pack of the Plush Poinsettia Designer Series paper, and that is this paper that has these gorgeous velvet accents. And you'll notice on some of these pieces, there are dies in this particular set of dies in the bundle that will cut out these large flowers. The dies will also cut out these little sprigs, and then of course these leaves. So that's pretty cool. You also will receive 2 sheets of our gold foil, and all the papers will be cut to 6 by 6. You will also receive a half a pack of our beaded pearl accents, which we are going to be using on the sample card today. You'll get a half a roll of our silver metallic edged ribbon and a half a roll of the red sheer ribbon. And then I think I said you get the envelopes also. So that's included in your kit for the $45. Now, if you want to add the Poinsettia Petals bundle to your kit, if you don't have these already, you can do that for an extra $65. So the total for the kit and the bundle would be $110. If you do want that option, I do have a form linked in this video below that you can fill out, and I can send you a PayPal invoice. Otherwise, if you just want the kit, the link to the PayPal is right below in the video. So let me talk a little bit about the bundle. So the bundle is a set of 18 stamps. These are our photopolymer stamps. And then the poinsettia dies is a set of 18 different dies. And I do have some of those things cut out for you. So you'll notice in the stamp set, there are these 4 poinsettia pieces. So you have the full poinsettia here that you can crop out. And then there are 3 singles. So we have this one, and this one. These 3 here. And then this little guy has a little filler piece. As you can see, I've stamped it there. And then there's a little tiny middle piece here that I did stamp in the So Saffron. And so you can layer these to create a full poinsettia. You just layer those together. You can fluff up the petals if you want. The die set also includes dies to cut out these leaves. And some the other dies, well, let me just pull them out and kind of show you. I feel like I'm stumbling over my words because I'm trying to describe something that I could actually just show you rather than stumble over my words and speak it. So we have the large leaf and the small leaf. So as you can see, you can stamp those images and their center pieces and then crop them out. You can also just take a piece of cardstock and crop out a leaf. But if you want the detail of the veins, you need to add the little detail piece to the center of the leaves before you cut it out. Whoops, is that upside down? Or maybe that one goes in here. I might have left the other one on my Stampin' Cut and Emboss table. So anyways, what I would do is I would take some washi tape and I would connect these 2 things together. I would run them through in one pass and get the leaf with the veins on it. You can also do that with the poinsettia petals. As you can see, I do have these 2 dies taped together. And then when I run it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I get this nice poinsettia petal leaf with the detail veins already in it. So you can cut out the different sizes of these and make your full poinsettias with that too. So that's really cool. There's also a die for this little pine bough, I guess you would call it. There is a die for this little spriggy guy here, and he also has some center pieces or centers that we will use in the card that I'm going to make for you today. We have some of these little tiny poinsettias that I actually did not cut out, although I can show you a card. So this card here shows 2 of those small poinsettias cropped out. Then we have these 2 little middles, flower middles. And here's one of them on this card. This is the open one. And then here they are layered together on this card. And on this card, you can also see where I did cut out some of that super fun plush poinsettia vellum paper. So let me get the supplies for the card and we'll get started on making it. Okay, let me get the stuff for my first project and we'll stamp because that's literally why you're here. Oh, we'll just do this first. Okay, I need to get some things here. We've got some ink. This is the card that inspired me for the card that I'm going to make for you right now. I made that card a couple of years ago. This was a celebration set that you could receive during celebration a couple of years ago, and I made this card and I found it because I keep some of the cards that I make just because I like the layout, or this is kind of like a technique-y type card in a sense because it's a little bit different style. But I do keep some of those things so that I can come back and recreate them because, you know, it's an awesome layout and why not make it again? You know what I'm saying? Milk it for all it's worth, right? Okay, so we're going to use the Poinsettia Petals bundle to make this card. And let's see, I got to get all my pieces and parts here. Okay, this is just a quarter sheet of cardstock. The color would not matter at all. We're just going to use this to make sure that when we attach our card together, it's going to fit in an envelope, because if it goes out of the border of this piece of cardstock, then it's not going to fit in your envelope. So when you're putting it together, you want to make sure that you're using a quarter sheet of cardstock so that you make sure that you don't screw it up, because I've done that, of course, and you guys believe me because I screw up all the time. Okay, so the card base is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. In this case, I'm using crumb cake. Well, actually, I used crumb cake on that one too. So I'm using crumb cake. Then I have a 4 by 4 piece of crumb cake that I ran through my Dainty Diamonds embossing folder and my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, because the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is literally my most favorite thing in the whole wide world. I just realized I didn't have one of my lights turned on. I've had a Big Shot ever since Stampin' Up! Started selling a Big Shot, and I thought it was amazing. But when I got the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, I realized how not amazing the Big Shot is and how amazing the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is. It cuts things, oh my gosh, one time. I run things through one time and all the bits are cut. Whereas in my Big Shot, I had to run them through 5, 10 times. I had to move it around on the platform, and it was just a nightmare. And sometimes even then, this stuff wouldn't come cut out. So anyways, I can't rave about it enough. All right, so 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, 4 by 4. This piece is for the inside. This is also a 4 by 4. Then we have a 2 3/4 by 3 1/2 piece of white, and then a 3 by, or no, this is a 3 1/8 by 3 5/8 piece of red. Okay, then we also have, what do I do with it? Oh. These amazing foil sheets in the holiday catalog. We have red and green, and oh my gosh, aren't they pretty? Well, of course, my lights are glaring on them severely, but they are just gorgeous. So they're red and green. I guess I would say they're real red and shaded spruce, even though they might not be exactly those colors. That's kind of what I think they are. So I have taken the 3 poinsettia leaves and run them through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And with the cutting die and the embossing die. Hold on. Okay, so when I say that, this is actually 2 different dies. This outer piece here is the cutting die, and then this little inside piece is the embossing part of that. So I pretty much, for the most part, at least since I've gotten this, I've really only used it for die cutting, not actually cutting and then, or stamping and then cutting. But I can easily peel this off because I used washi tape to stick it down. So I can easily just use this piece if that's what I want to do. And then I can put it back together, kind of line it up so that there's even spacing around the whole thing. And then I'll just tack my washi tape back down. So that's what I've done. So I did that with all 3 of them. And so I have 1 of each size out of the red foil. Those are some other random dies that came with me when I hustled my tushy over here. Okay, so we have these. So we are going to adhere these together. And I'm trying to think what I want to use. I guess I'm going to use some seal. I'm going to bring in a silicone mat only because I don't want to get glue all over my new planking here. So any glue that misses my poinsettias here will just go onto my silicone mat, and I can get rid of that really easily. So I'm going to offset each of these when I stick them down. Just like that. And then I'll bring in the biggest one And we'll throw some adhesive in the center of that. And again, we will offset. So now I have a very full poinsettia flower here. And then if you want, you can take a bone folder and kind of curl them a little bit. So I like to curl the big bottom petals kind of down and then the medium petals up a little bit. And I'm just gently doing this because I don't want to fold the paper. And then these little ones, again, I like to go down. So I'm just kind of doing it opposite. Now you could do it however you want. This is just how I find that I think it's kind of fun. So there we go. And that's literally my whole focal point is going to be that. So I'm going to add this to my piece of paper with probably 3 dimensionals here in the center. Peel the backings off. Ugh, I have literally no fingernails. And it's getting to be a little bit chillier here. I don't know how it is where you guys live, but where we live, it's getting a little chillier. And when it gets chilly, my fingers crack because I sit down here and work with paper all dang day. And then my fingers crack and then they hurt. And then it's just a real bummer. But again, who cares, right? Because I'm still going to stamp. All right. So now I'm going to add this to my layer of real red. Oh my gosh. A couple hours ago, I was down here prepping for this class, and I happened to look over my large table that's right behind me onto the floor, and there was, I don't know what this thing is. I mean, I want to say it was a centipede because that's exactly what it looked like. It was about 2 inches long. It was very skinny, and it had a million legs, and it was moving, you know, like weaving around like that. It was disgusting, and I was like, oh my word, what are you doing in here? So I had to kill it. And what I did, because it was just yucky, I threw a piece of paper over the top of it and then I stepped on it with my slippers. And then I tossed it in the garbage because yuck. It was disgusting. It's like, what in the heck are you doing in my stamp room? Honestly. All right. Have we had any people say anything that I need to respond to? Hello, Elaine, and thanks, Nina, and Evelyn likes the curvy bundle. Okay, and then Cheryl has just joined us. So hello, Cheryl. All right, so I'm going to add these leaves with some glue dots. So I'm just going to press. You see, I trimmed off the points to those leaves because I don't need them, and they may end up just giving me fits, you know, as I try to tuck some leaves under here. I don't want them to be too long and cause me some fits. So we just got rid of that part. All right, so we're going to figure out how we want this to look. And then I'm going to just press down underneath here on top of those. Okay, so that's what we have so far. So I did want to go ahead and add one of these super cute flower middles, these little beaded pearls. They're so cute. And I'm going to use glue dots for those also. In fact, I'm going to actually use 2 glue dots because this is kind of a bigger embellishment. And how do I want this on there? Whoops. I think, well, it just flew up, kind of stuck from my hand. So there we go. Ingrid says, I use pure lanolin on dry spots like elbows and fingers. Well, I may have to do that. Oh, hello, Vicky. Another one of my team members is on here. Vicky is watching with us. Hello, Vicky. Oh, there's my sentiment. That was supposed to be a secret, but you've seen it, so it's probably not a secret anymore. Okay, so we have that done. I need to adhere my Dainty Diamonds layer to my card base. So we're just going to add some seal to this. And let's just get this centered on here. There we go. Alrighty, and then, like I said, we're going to use our quarter sheet of cardstock. Again, color does not make any difference to this because we just want to make sure that we get this on here so it's not taller than this. Okay, so I'm going to add some seal to the bottom of that, and then I'm going to add it to the top of this in the center. Okay, so get that lined up. And then we'll center this like so. And then we can kind of press that down there. And we can maybe open it up and give it a little press right there in the center. Yay! Okay, so we're done with that now. So now we have our centerpiece here, and we are going to do a little bit of stamping on that. So let me get out some ink. I've got some real red and some shaded spruce. Oh, and I did, my leaves are shaded spruce. I don't think I said that, but they are. I need a piece of scratch paper. Where are you, scratch paper? So I can stamp on this, but I'm going to try not to. I don't want to purposely stamp on it, just in the event that, you know, like red, and you know, red may or may not come off. Sometimes red can be a little tricky. So this is going to be the top. And you may notice that I have a little black mark on my poinsettia here. Poinsettia. Geez, why is that so hard for me? And I'll show you why I have that little black mark. I also have a black mark on this one. Maybe I should put it this way. I just used a Sharpie. After I kind of figured out how these two went together, then I used a Sharpie on them. So I know where they go together. So like I just stamped this like this. So now I know that this little spot with the black is going to go like that. And this one, I stamped it like this. So I know that these two petals here and this one are where the little black one on this needs to go. So I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to stamp it off one time because I don't want it to be super dark. Just want it to have a little bit of color to the center there, not a ton. And we'll get that one. And then we'll do this one up here. There we go. Okay, so we're done with the red. And then I have a little sentiment. Where did I put it? Oh, it's in another box. Hold on. Found it. We're going to use this on another card too. Ooh, look what I just did. There's my chamois. Okay. Wow, I thought I was going to maybe get away with not getting ink all over myself today. Wrong! Okay. Let's try that again. I got a little carried away with the ink there. All right, so let's try to stamp this in the middle if we can. Oh, that's a slight bit crooked, but I'm going to leave it because honestly, it's not that big of a deal. All right, so let me clean my stamps off so that I don't end up touching them and get, you know, more ink on my hands, and then get it onto my projects because, well, you've all seen that happen plenty of times when you watch Barb stamp. Okay, so I'm going to put these away. Oh, I need the green back though. Hold on. Okay. Uh-oh, look. Look! Oh my gosh, look, I'm a mess! Jeez Louise, what the heck? How did that even happen? I must have touched the edge of the pad when I was closing it. Okay, hold on. Stop the presses right now. We are cleaning this entire pad off because clearly I cannot be trusted to not make a mess. Okay, I mean, yeah, my fingers are going to be stained, but such is the life of the stamper, right? Okay. There. We've cleaned that off. Be careful, Barb. Jeez Louise. Okay. So I have a 3/4 inch, I think, piece of paper. Yes, 3/4 of an inch by about, what is it, about 3.5? It's about 3.5. And there's also a really gorgeous Merry Christmas image in this set. And so we're going to use that on the card. If I can line this up, trying to make it centered. Sometimes that's hard. Okay, Carol said it looks straight to her. Awesome. Okay, so then we're going to bring in this little dandy banner punch. This is the one in the big catalog, the annual catalog. We also have one in the holiday catalog that cuts like the snake tongues, the forked deal, which we're going to use on a different card. So I want this thing here. So this can cut 1/2 inch, 3/4, or 1 inch strips of cardstock. So mine's a 3/4, so I'm just going to slide that into those little tracks there. And I like to flip it over because I want to make sure that it's going to cut where I want it to cut. I'm just going to snip that little bit off. And then I'm going to bring this other end in and we're going to snip that off about like so. And so that's what we have. Cute. I really like this. I love making fancy ends on my cards. And before you used to have to like use a die or something to get kind of a fancy end. And now we don't have to. So that's awesome. All right. So let's get this to the inside of the card. I think I'm behind schedule. right now. My daughter showed up this week from college. It's only 3.5 hours away, so I mean, she can come home whenever she wants, but she doesn't always come home. So I was kind of surprised to see her. So she's upstairs actually making dinner for me. Well, starting the dinner. I guess I shouldn't say making the dinner for me, because honestly, that probably isn't going to happen. But she's up there cooking the hamburger for me so that I can make some dinner. All right. We need to bring this ribbon from the inside of the card to the outside of the card. This is one of the ribbons that's in the annual catalog. It is called, it's a real red double stitched satin ribbon. It's really pretty. And I thought it would go well with this foil paper. Okay, so I'm going to use glue dots here because I think my Scotch tape would be too wide for this, and so I don't want the tape to be seen. Obviously, you never want the tape to be seen when you're making a card. So we are just going to use glue dots on the ends of this ribbon. And that way, when we bring it around to the front, we can just glue dot it on there. Okay, so we want to kind of see where we want it. So I'm actually putting it through, so it's about an inch from the bottom to the top of the ribbon. Okay, and I'm just guessing. I don't have a ruler. I very rarely really am a crazy person about measuring stuff. I mean, I would think that I would, because I'm fairly anal, but a lot of times I just eyeball stuff, and that's what we're going to do. And then we're just going to put our sentiment over that, and then nobody will ever even know that. So I've got some little mini glue dots. No. These are not mini glue dots. These are mini dimensionals. And I'm going to put a couple here on the ends, and then I'm going to go one in the middle. I probably could have just used a big one, but they were sitting here, and you know, I don't use them as much as I use the big ones. So we're going to show them a little bit of love. So we're going to peel all the backings off, and then we will stick it on here. Oh, thank you so much, Elaine. Elaine said my card is gorgeous. Thanks, Elaine. I appreciate that very much. There it is. Okay. So, and then you open it up, and there's your inside sentiment. And of course, when you stand it on a desk, I mean, you guys can't really see it standing here, but it's going to be cool. And I probably should have used my bone folder to crease that a little bit better, then it will stand better. So as long as if you crease it really well, it'll stand up a lot better. If you don't crease it very well, then it just wants to flop out. So there you go. Card number 1 done.